Don't like living with us? Then go. My mom declared. They lived rent-free in my home. I cooked, cleaned, and covered $2,000 monthly bills. When I sought room, she fired. We're family. Act like it. Fuming, I departed. That night, my car was my bed. At dawn, I put every bill in her name. The next day, when I came back, start with a slight pause, then a sigh before speaking, conveying weary resolve. Have you ever been told to leave your own home by the people you love most, your family? It happened to me, and that moment, that cutting phrase, was when I finally understood. Being the reliable one had become a cage, and I was desperately searching for the key. My name is Alex. I'm 28, the oldest kid, the background person, the spreadsheet maker. I'm the brother who buys the bulk paper towels, labels the shelf, and always knows where the plunger is. For years, I've worked the IT help desk at a hospital. Night shifts, bad coffee, but a steady paycheck. I'm good at it. Calm on the phone even when surgeons aren't. I fix things other people don't even notice are broken. Last year, I bought my own little two-bedroom place. Creaky stairs, a postage stamp backyard. Beige walls, scuffed floors, baseboards painted by someone who was clearly in a hurry. On closing day, I drove there with just a single folding chair, sat in the empty living room, and cried without a sound. It was pure, unadulterated relief. Then I walked room to room, my socks picking up dust, and told my cat, we did it. He just stared at me, like I'd overpromised. 3 months later, my parents called. A burst pipe at their rental. Insurance was a nightmare. Could they crash for a week or two? Of course I said. I'm Alex. I'm the reliable one. I carry extra chargers. I show up early. I fix the Wi-Fi. My family needed a couch, and I had two. What else was I going to say? 2 suitcases quickly became 8. A week or two stretched into, until the contractor calls. My mom started rearranging my pantry like it had personally offended her. My dad claimed the living room for job hunting, which really meant sports at medium volume, and the newspaper draped over my coffee table like a shroud. Then my younger sister, Mia, started dropping by daily to do laundry because the washers at her building are evil. Her laundry came with friends, music, and hair extensions drying on my curtain rod like seaweed. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself being generous now would feel good later. I told myself a lot of things. The bills, however, didn't care about any of them. Mortgage, gas, water, electric, internet, trash, the HOA sending letters about my bins facing the wrong way. It was about $2,000 a month, not counting groceries, which became a social experiment in denial. We'll get the next one, my mom would say, lifting brand-name snacks into the cart like prizes. You know, we've got you, my dad would add, patting his pockets where a wallet should have been. Mia filmed a haul video in my kitchen and conveniently forgot to tag me. I tried systems. I put a whiteboard by the fridge with due dates and amounts. I wrote, this is not a fight. This is clarity. I left room for initials next to each line item. The boxes remained stubbornly blank. Mia just drew a smiley face next to groceries. My mom wrote, love under water, which, last I checked, isn't legal tender. My house shifted around me. My desk moved to my bedroom so Dad could focus. My second bedroom became storage, meaning my stuff piled up in the hallway. My cat started sleeping under the bed. I started drinking coffee in the car just to hear silence. The comments piled up, just like the dishes. Why are you so weird about the thermostat? My mom would say, nudging it to 75. You're young. You run hot. Why are you hoarding olive oil? Mia asked, waving my decent bottle like a flag. Don't be stingy. Relax, landlord. My dad would quip whenever I asked someone to rinse a plate. Then came Tuesday night, 9 p.m., after a double shift. I stepped over 3 pairs of shoes and a mountain of laundry to reach my kitchen. A cold pan of lasagna sat glued to the stove. My dad snorted from his chair. Mia and my mom scrolled in synchronized boredom. I said, carefully, hey, can we talk about keeping the place clean? I'm overwhelmed. My mom didn't even look up. If you don't like living with family, you can leave. I blinked. This is my house. She finally looked at me. We're your family. Act like it. Mia smiled, without warmth. Seriously, Alex, don't make it weird. Something clicked behind my ribs. Not anger yet. Just a small, hard yes to a thought I hadn't allowed myself to have. I went to my room, shut the door, and listened as my mom said, he's so sensitive. It was like a period at the end of a sentence I was just tired of reading. This didn't start with the house. It started when we were kids. Mia got dance lessons. I got go read. If she forgot her lunch, Mom drove across town. If I forgot, I learned the cafeteria's exact smell of tomato soup and bleach. Her report cards were on the fridge with stickers. Mine were folded into a drawer with good, but try harder. It wasn't cartoon villain cruel. It was just the family rhythm. Mia, the shiny one. Me, the reliable background. By high school, I stocked shelves and tutored algebra. The money went to savings, because college wasn't our problem. My dad said, "You're smart. Figure it out." I did. Loans, scholarships, night shifts. I paid for broken sinks with YouTube. Tutorials, and pure pride. I learned when rice was done by sound alone. Family gatherings trained me to be useful. I jumped dead car batteries. I fixed printers. I drove Mia across town when her migraine hit. If I said I couldn't, the group chat would light up with guilt, then silence, then forced cheerful follow-ups that felt like punishment in glitter. When I bought this house, a short sale with a roof that groaned in the wind, I told no one for a week. I needed just one private win. When I finally told them, my mom cried and said, "Now you're a man." My dad clapped my back too hard. Mia filmed a walking tour with empty house vibes and posted it without asking. I swallowed the sour taste and decided to be generous. The boomerang left my hand right then. The burst pipe happened, and they arrived. Day 1, Mom color-coded my pantry and threw out suspicious spices. Day 2, "Don't be cheap," she said, nudging the thermostat again. Day 3, Dad borrowed a little cash for groceries, returned with craft beer and novelty chips, and declared, "We deserve treats. Treats are great, but bills don't care." I started tracking numbers like blood pressure. Gas $78.42, electric $134.30, water $62.17, internet $79.99, trash $23. Groceries $112.50. Plus we'll get you Friday texts. Friday never arrived. My whiteboard system became my last resort. Words and marker felt like real rules. I wrote due dates. I pre-drew lines for initials. Mia doodled stars around Wi-Fi. Mom added love again. My dad said, "Budgets are for people who don't trust each other." They went to bed in my house, in my sheets, on my utilities. Mia borrowed my car for work and returned it with a Vinny drink and my gas tank gasping. Oops. She buzzed at 1:10 a.m. because she forgot her key, and when I opened the door in socks, she said, "You're such a light sleeper." That's unhealthy. My mom hosted frugal dinners that were anything but. The sink turned into a museum exhibit called Evidence of Parties. My dad fell asleep under commentary from a sports channel set to a low murmur. "Be quiet," my mom said. "Your father's tired." My aunt called me the rich one for buying paper plates, all while I drove a 2012 Corolla with a taped mirror. I asked for small things. "Please rinse dishes. Please don't use my work laptop to stream reality TV. Please put laundry in baskets, not on the stairs." Wow. My mom said, "You're keeping score. That's toxic." I told Mia, "No more friends after midnight on weeknights." She blinked. "You're strict now." My dad bought a new mailbox, then asked me to install it while he watched the game. When I asked, "Can you help?" he said, "I've had a long week." From what? Answering emails he never sent and napping? The money was draining away, a constant drip, drip, drip. $2,000 wasn't just a number, it was a sound. I started waking at 5 a.m. to sit in the car with coffee, just to hear nothing. I missed my old loneliness, the quiet kind. Our talks repeated like bad radio. Me? "I need help with bills." "Mom, we raised you." Me? "I know, but this is now." "Dad, you make more." Me? "I pay for everything here." Mia? Money talk gives me anxiety. The day before the sentence that truly broke something in me, Mia used my emergency credit card for an Uber, then paid for a salon day and 3 sparkly phone cases. I saw the charge at midnight, dry mouth, bathed in the bank app's blue glow. The next morning, I confronted her. "I'll pay you back in exposure," she said. Then, seeing my face, "I'll Venmo tonight." She didn't. That night, there were 6 of Mia's friends, my parents, my uncle, and a pot of soup boiling itself down to sludge. Acrylic nails clicked on my cutting board. My cat had vanished. Oh, good. My mom said as I walked in. We need more ice. Do we? I asked, staring at the empty trays like they were a metaphor for my life. Don't start, she snapped. You're ruining the vibe. We need rules, I said, my voice shaking. Not anger yet, just disbelief. I had to beg to be comfortable in a house with my name on the deed. If you don't like living with family, you can leave, she repeated, like a rehearsed slogan. This is my house, I said, softer now, like I was just telling the room. We're your family. Act like it. Everything went quiet, except the soup, which hissed like it agreed with me. My dad reached for the remote. Mia half smiled, like I'd dropped something, and she was waiting to see if I'd pick it up. I went to my room, put a charger and a clean shirt in a backpack, measured out cat food, and left. I didn't slam the door. I didn't perform for them. I walked to my Corolla, slid in, and locked the doors with a click that felt like a sentence ending. The porch light was on, the house glowing, figures moving behind the curtains. No one called my name. No one noticed. That detail lodged in my throat. I drove to a 24-hour grocery store and parked under an orange lamp. I texted my boss that I needed a sick day. Then I turned off my phone, because waiting for a text that doesn't come is like chewing glass. I reclined my seat and stared at the car ceiling's fabric pattern until it turned into static. Rain came just before 2 a.m., light at first, then chattering. A street sweeper circled. A guy in a reflective vest smoked by his truck and didn't look at me, which felt like mercy. I counted my breaths. I listed bills in my head the way some people count sheep. Mortgage, gas, water, electric, internet, trash, food, cat litter. Repeat. I slept in small shreds and woke with neck pain that felt earned. At dawn, the sky went pale and polite. I drove to the coffee shop with the green awning. The barista slid a cup toward me and said, "Rough night." I just nodded. I tipped too much. Being kind anchors me to myself. I opened my laptop and logged into every account tied to my address. Gas, water, electric, internet, trash, HOA, streaming services no one watched, but somehow were always playing. In each portal, I clicked Manage Billing. I typed my mom's full name, her email, the same one she used to order groceries on my card, and her phone number. I clicked Save. Confirmation emails pinged. I screenshotted each one and sent them to myself with subjects like gas changed, water changed, until my inbox looked like a checklist unraveling. I wasn't canceling anything. I wasn't pulling a plug or cutting a line. I was reassigning responsibility to the people who said, "We're family," like it made the light free. My hands didn't shake. My coffee went cold. At 10 a.m., with a headache pressing behind my eyes, I drove home. I rehearsed 3 sentences in my head like a script. Asterisk, I'm not your landlord. I'm your son. I won't carry this anymore. Asterisk, they were at the table, eating cereal. My mom brightened, brittle. Oh, good. Did you cool off? Her smile tried to zip the night into a pocket and pretend it didn't exist. We need to talk, I said, standing. My dad sighed. Here we go. Mia didn't even look up. Can it be quick? I have a hair appointment. I changed the bills into your name, I said. Gas, water, electric, internet. You'll get the emails. My mom blinked, then sharpened. You did what? You told me to leave if I don't like living with family, I said. I left for a night. Now I'm back with boundaries. If you want to stay, we can sign a simple month-to-month agreement. You contribute toward bills. We have house rules. If not, you can make other arrangements. Either way, I'm done carrying this alone. You're punishing us, my mom cried. This isn't about revenge, I said, and my voice surprised me by being steady. This is about closure. About ending a pattern that hurts all of us. You can't evict your family, my dad said. I'm not evicting you, I replied. I'm requiring adults to act like adults. The mortgage company accepts money, not gratitude. Mia finally looked up. Her mascara wand hovered. So, you're choosing money over family? I'm choosing sanity over chaos. God, she scoffed. You're so dramatic. It's okay if this doesn't work for you, I said. But if you stay, we sign at 7. If you leave, drop my key on the hook. No one spoke. I picked up my keys. My mom said, small and cutting, "You'll regret this." I already regret not doing it sooner, I said, and left again. This time, to my friend Erin's couch and her dog, who slept with his head on my foot like a paperweight. My phone lit up at 1 p.m. with a flood. Your billing details were updated. 8 versions of that sentence. Then my mom, what is this? Change it back now. Then, answer your mother. Missed call. Missed call. The group chat was renamed Family Emergency. I muted it. My dad texted, you're being dramatic. Then, your mother is upset. Then, we had plans today. Mia, Wi-Fi is lagging. Fix it. Followed by, also, can you cash at me for nails? You said you would. I hadn't. My aunt. Be the bigger person. My uncle. Pride comes before the fall. My grandma. Call your mother. A number I didn't know. Your dad is at my place. He's cooling off. I sent one message to the family thread and to each person separately, so no one could pretend they missed it. House rules and terms if you stay. We sign a month-to-month agreement at 7 p.m. today. $600 total toward household bills/groceries, due on the 5th monthly. I'll itemize. I keep paying the rest. No hosting without asking me first. Clean kitchen same day. My car is off limits. If these don't work, I'll help find other options. This isn't punishment. It's boundaries. This is an offer with a deadline, not a debate. I put my phone face down, stared at Erin's ceiling fan, and breathed like I was learning how. She slid a ginger ale onto my chest and said, keep going. Her dog snored. At 6:45 p.m., I walked into my living room, feeling like security at my own front door. My mom sat at the table, arms folded. My dad hovered. Mia scrolled, legs folded underneath her like a flamingo. My printed agreement lay on the table, wearing highlighter like war paint. We're not signing this, my mom said. It's insulting. It's clear, I said. Clarity can feel like an insult if you're not used to it. $600. My dad exclaimed. Robbery. It's half the household bills. I'm still paying more, I countered. We gave you a childhood, my mom declared. I'm grateful, I said. And the electric company won't accept gratitude. Mia smirked. He wrote these lines in his notes. I slid a pen over. If you want to stay, sign. If you don't, I'll help you find a place, and we can move you this weekend. You don't treat family like tenants, my mom said. You told me to leave my house. I reminded her. You framed me as a landlord. I'm choosing to be a person with boundaries. The silence had its own weight. My dad grabbed the pen first and scrawled a signature that looked like a medical emergency. Temporary, he muttered, until my thing comes through. He had no thing. My mom signed next with angry loops. We raised you, she whispered, like a spell that used to work. Mia stared at the line. I don't have $600, she said. I'll give you $50 in shout-outs. You're not on the lease, I said, my voice steady. You're a guest. You have 2 weeks to decide where you actually live. Her mouth opened, then closed. You're going to be alone forever. Maybe, I said, but I'll sleep. She disappeared into the storage room, re-emerged with a tote, grabbed a hoodie that was mine, and flounced out. The silence after the door clicked felt like oxygen. We did logistics. Painful, unromantic saving. Who buys toilet paper? What day does trash go out? How to label leftovers. How to ask before inviting people over. I put my mom's email on the utilities as the responsible party. She refused autopay, and I didn't argue. My dad agreed to mow the lawn and stopped using my good chef's knife on cardboard. I taped the rules inside a cabinet. It felt petty. It also felt like oxygen. That night, the kitchen sink held one mug, mine. I washed it like it was fragile and laughed a little into the soap. I slept 8 hours and woke to birds and my cat standing on my chest like a supervisor. I fed him. We both looked out the window at nothing happening. I almost cried from relief. Then came the ripple effects. Extended family volunteered as mediators. Aunt, your mother is fragile. Me, so am I. Uncle, your father's pride is hurt. Me, so is mine. Grandma, don't be cruel. Me, clarity isn't cruelty. Mia posted a story about toxic people obsessed with money over a selfie with perfect lighting. I muted her. She texted a rent invoice with a crying emoji. I sent a list of part-time jobs and Venmo'd $40 for the gas she didn't have. She replied, thought you had boundaries. I said I do. I'm also your brother. The first cycle of bills in my mom's name hit. She called crying. This is so much. It's what it always was, I said. You're just seeing it now. I talked her through setting reminders. She said, autopay scares me. I said, late fees scare me. More. She did it anyway, muttering about scams. We hung up. I sat on the floor and laughed into my hands because the choice was laugh or headbutt the wall. There were slip-ups. My dad invited friends over for a game without asking. I came home to beer rings on my coffee table. I didn't yell. I stood, pointed at the door, and said, "House Rule 3. He exhaled through his nose, herded them out, wiped the rings with his sleeve, and asked, "Happy?" I said no. Consistent. My mom touched the thermostat one night and then backed away like it burned her. The next day, I bought her a fuzzy blanket and left a note. Use this instead of the furnace. She used it. No, thank you. I didn't need one. We set a timeline. 3 months to find a place. I made a spreadsheet of rentals, linked bus routes, starred the ones near an affordable grocery store. My dad rejected every listing for reasons that sounded like running. Too small, too far, too ugly, too many stairs, not enough stairs. I changed the spreadsheet column header from reasons to excuses and said gently, "Pick a choice." He glared, then circled one that was fine. We applied. They got it. The night before the move, my mom made lasagna. She cleaned the pan afterward like a confession. She set a plate in front of me. "Eat," she said. "You look tired." "Thanks." We ate quietly. The house exhaled. The move took 6 hours. I carried boxes labeled miscellaneous that were not miscellaneous. They were every drawer emptying at once. I kept finding my things inside. My tape measure, my screwdriver, my hoodie I'd written off as lost. I took them back without comment. When the truck pulled away, the rooms felt bigger. The hall was a hall again, not a maze. The whiteboard went into the trash. The couch cushions stood up straight. I stood in the doorway and waited for triumph. It didn't come. What came was clean, like stepping out of a pool and realizing you're warm. That night, I slept without earplugs. I woke up before my alarm because the house was that quiet. I made coffee in my own kitchen and stood barefoot on floors I'd mopped yesterday and thought, this is what normal is supposed to feel like. Nothing snapped into perfect shape after that. It's not a movie with swelling strings. It's a series of small choices that add up to peace. My mom still drops, "You embarrassed me," when she's hurt. My dad still says autopay like it's a disease. Mia still posts quotes about chosen family that are true and also land like darts. Here's what changed. I no longer audition for good son by bankrupting myself. I no longer apologize for wanting space in a house I pay for. I no longer hand over my car keys, my credit card, and my sanity to avoid being called dramatic. I ask for what I need. I say no like it fits in my mouth. I put money agreements in writing, even with relatives. Especially with relatives. The calls are different now. Can you help move a dresser? Maybe. What time? How heavy? Can you spot us groceries? I can build a $60 list that feeds you for a week. Can we come to dinner? Saturday, 7 to 10. Bring dessert. No extras. Boundaries look stiff on paper. Living inside them feels soft, like having a spine and a couch at the same time. A week after the move, my mom texted at 10:04 p.m. "We're short on water. Can you cover? We'll pay you back." Old me would have paid immediately and lived in the familiar famine of next Friday. New me replied, "I can loan $40. I'll send a DocuSign. Due back by the 15th. She wrote, "Ridiculous," and signed it 3 minutes later. She paid on the 14th. Progress isn't poetic. It's a calendar notification and money arriving on time. It's good. Sometimes, I still hear that line. If you don't like living with family, you can leave. My jaw tightens. Then I look around. My plant is thriving. My cat is asleep in a sun square. My coffee mug is drying beside the sink. My mug, no lipstick ring. The thermostat's little screen is at 68, like a steady heartbeat. I breathe all the way down. I didn't fix my family. I adjusted my part in the machine. I stopped confusing sacrifice with love. I stopped mistaking being indispensable for being valued. I set a line, and I stood on my side, without shouting. If you're where I was, family in your space, rent-free in your rooms, and in your head, you cook, clean, pay thousands a month, and apologize for asking for quiet. Here's the script I wish I'd had. Write it down. Prices, dates, rules, consequences. Say it once, calmly. Expect blowback. Expect silence. Expect the parking lot night and the orange lamp and the thought, maybe I'm the villain. Expect, after, a kind of peace that isn't loud. It sounds like a dishwasher finishing a cycle. It looks like a cat blinking at you from a windowsill. It feels like putting your keys in a bowl by the door and knowing exactly where they'll be tomorrow. My name is Alex. I'm 28. Not the golden child, not the rebel, not invisible. I'm the one with a house that finally feels like a home, because I finally acted like it's mine. And when I lock the door at night, it's not to keep people out. It's to keep my peace in. So, tell me, if you've ever had to draw a hard line with family, what was your turning point? What did you do to reclaim your space, your sanity, your peace? I really want to hear your stories.